Welcome back, everyone. If you've been paying any attention at all to the artificial intelligence space lately, you know that this has been an absolutely incredible summer for AI. And the news just keeps accelerating. I mean, we've got mysterious model leaks, the massive launch of OpenAI's GPT-5.6 family, frustrating developmental roadblocks over at Google, and rising expectations for major new releases from DeepSeek and Moonshot's Kimi K3. Oh, and of course, some high-profile tech drama on X to top the whole shebang off. We are going to break all of this down today, making sure you walk away from this explainer with a crystal-clear understanding of exactly where the frontier AI race stands right now. Let's get into it.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the mysterious Claude Honeycomb leak. Second, OpenAI's GPT-5.6 launch and the swirling rumors around GPT-6. Third, Anthropic's Fable 5.1 refinement strategy. Fourth, Google Gemini's coding delays. And fifth, the latest clash between Elon Musk and Sam Altman.
All right, Section 1, the Claude Honeycomb leak. Okay, so it's not every day that a closely guarded, unreleased frontier model just pops up in the wild, right? But that is exactly what happened recently with Anthropic. A secret new model briefly appeared inside the popular coding app Cursor. And the moment this happened, the AI community lit up with one massive question. Is this Opus 5? Think about it. Since Fable 5 and Sonnet 5 are already out, the Opus tier is literally the only one missing from that generation. The model was listed as an early access preview under the name Claude Honeycomb, and speculation just kicked into overdrive trying to figure out where this fits into Anthropic's puzzle.
And the specs attached to this Honeycomb model were completely staggering. We're talking a 1 million token context window. To put that into perspective, that means it can swallow entire massive code bases whole in a single prompt. It also had per-turn controls and a dedicated extra high reasoning mode. These are not the specs of some lightweight experimental side project, folks. These are the hallmarks of a heavy-hitting, premium frontier model built for incredibly complex tasks. Now, figuring out its internal ranking is the real puzzle, but we actually got a massive clue about that right before the model was pulled offline. When an inquisitive user actively tried to bypass Claude Honeycomb's safety limits, the system triggered an automatic defense mechanism and fell back to Opus 4.8. Why does that matter? Well, in software architecture, a safety fallback usually drops you down to the next most stable foundation in the hierarchy. So, the fact that Honeycomb falls back to Opus 4.8 heavily suggests it actually sits above it internally. It's a really fascinating glimpse into how Anthropic is structuring their next generation of model tiers.
Moving right along to Section 2, OpenAI's next massive leap.
So, there are a lot of early rumors flying around claiming GPT-6 was already completely finished. But let's look at what actually just happened. OpenAI officially launched its new GPT-5.6 family. We've got the flagship Sol model, the mid-tier Terra, and the ultra-fast Luna. And Sol is an absolute beast at coding. Early benchmarks actually show Sol Ultra scoring 91.9% on Terminal Bench 2.1, which edges out Anthropic's Mythos 5 at 88%. But what about GPT-6? Well, reports are now saying OpenAI actually abandoned its older 4 trillion parameter SPUD architecture and started training a brand new, larger model completely from scratch. Prediction markets are currently giving GPT-6 only about a 55 to 60% chance of arriving by September, so we might be waiting just a bit longer for that one.
All right, Section 3, Anthropic's Fable 5.1 refinement.
This really brilliantly illustrates the totally different philosophies these two labs have right now. While OpenAI is out there building brand new architectures from scratch for GPT-6, Anthropic is taking a totally different route. They are focusing their immense computational resources on refining their already highly successful Fable and Mythos base. Expected in the next few weeks, Fable 5.1 is reportedly going to bring much better reasoning, coding, efficiency, and reliability. It's a classic tech race dynamic, right? The aggressive push for the shiny new architecture versus the meticulous optimization of a proven foundation to squeeze out every last drop of performance.
Section 4, Gemini 3.5 Pro delayed by coding roadblocks.
Over at Google, things seem to be hitting some frustrating speed bumps. Their highly anticipated Gemini 3.5 Pro model has reportedly been delayed once again. In the incredibly fast-paced world of frontier AI, where release windows are literally measured in weeks, repeated delays can seriously hurt a company's mindshare and market momentum. Because of these internal hurdles, Google might have to push its official launch date all the way to the end of the month.
And here is the crazy part about that delay. The development team has hit a fascinating regression issue. The new internal checkpoint, built on the Rev 25 base, is reportedly performing really weakly at coding,
and it's even confidently giving incorrect answers about its own knowledge cutoff date. Ironically, the older Rev 24 checkpoint from back in May was actually performing better at coding tasks. Because coding capabilities are so deeply tied to a model's overall reasoning and logic skills, you simply cannot launch a pro model if its coding has taken a step backwards. Google absolutely has to iron out this regression before they release it to the public.
And finally, Section 5, Musk versus Altman. The feud resumes.
So the catalyst here was Apple filing a massive lawsuit against OpenAI, specifically accusing them of stealing trade secrets related to AI hardware. And almost immediately, Elon Musk jumped onto X, called Sam Altman a scammer, and threw his full support behind Apple's allegations. Altman, of course, fired right back, taking a jab at Musk's obsession with him. Now, as an explainer of the facts, we are absolutely not here to take sides in this billionaire feud. But we are noting that corporate lawsuits in this space are now routinely bleeding over into public, deeply personal clashes between the industry's most prominent figures. It really just goes to show how tense the atmosphere is at the very top of the AI food chain right now.
Which brings us to the ultimate question we have to ask ourselves after reviewing all of this. With secret models leaking, the massive launch of OpenAI's GPT-5.6, Google's frustrating coding delays, and lawsuits flying left and right, who is actually winning the AI race this summer? And that's not even mentioning the global competitors. You've got DeepSeek V4 nearing general availability, and Moonshot's massive 2.5 trillion parameter Kimi K3 gearing up for a huge launch. The landscape is shifting literally every single day, and the only certainty is that the next few months will be absolutely critical. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next one.